Good evening, everyone. I'm Rina, together with me, Pau, and Ren. So, kamusta kayo, guys?
Okay lang, okay lang. Medyo different yung ginagawa. By the way, pangatlong take na namin to. Para
Hindi.
sa hindi lang
Uy,
nakakaala.
hindi,
Hindi,
ah.
one take lang. Hindi, pero I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Meron tayong break from PGL Bucharest, so at least may time akong magpahinga because kagabi medyo matagal yung mga laro. So, I'm doing fine.
Pero sulit ang puyat.
Sulit
Sulit
ang
ang
puyat.
puyat.
Sulit ang puyat. Panalo ako sa pustahan. So,
Yun.
so sulit yung puyat.
Kaya
So,
pala sulit.
yeah. Oo.
So, ikaw, kamusta, Ren?
Same. Actually, I was trying to stay awake last night.
Hmm.
Pero thankfully, the games were very helpful in keeping me awake.
Yeah, medyo exciting yung mga laro. Tingnan natin if the playoffs will be as exciting. Pero that's what we're gonna talk about today.
Ito na yung topics natin for tonight. So, first, does the playoff reflect the strongest teams of the tournament? Should teams competing in majors or minors automatically get prize money? And will TNC defeat VGJ Thunder this time?
Ako, I can't wait for the third one. Medyo marami-rami tayong dito. Marami-rami kaming notes sa pag-uusapan
Ah.
dyan.
Okay, so shoutout muna ako dito ah. Shoutout sa mga tagalupon ng Wombo X Combo and sa lahat ng mga nanonood dyan sa Twitch ngayon. You can join the community by searching Lupon ng Wombo X Combo. So, magkakaroon kayo ng updates doon, tapos coverage schedules and everything. And syempre, andito yung show, The Duel.
Ah.
So, yun. So, punta na tayo sa unang topic for tonight. Does the playoff reflect the strongest teams of the tournament? So, with the playoffs locked, most of the top 8 ay nakalusot. So, pero maraming analyst na nagsasabi sa Twitter na hindi daw best yung group stage format. So, guys, tingin nyo ba, like, deserving yung mga nakapasok sa playoffs?
Ako,
How?
ako pag tinignan mo naman yung mga nakapasok, I think mahirap sabihin na these teams did not perform well para sa kailangan nilang gawin. You see VG Gaming J Thunder, who is the first one through. Top seeded sila sa tournament. Who did they defeat? They defeated VG Gaming. They defeat VG Gaming, who had a very good tournament na in the last tournaments they were taking games off of Team Liquid, who is the best in the world. You see all of the top 4 in the DPC race na nakalusot din. Siguro the only question mark na masasabi mong maybe hindi siya the best team or not one of the teams na iisipin mo makakalusot ba is Optic Gaming. Pero even when you look at Optic Gaming's games, medyo okay naman sila. So, I think that's the nature of Swiss format eh. Swiss format is very corrective. Kung sa simula makakachamba ka, eventually makikita mo magkakaroon ka ng talo. And then, eventually, yung malalakas talaga yung makakalusot. There's some variants doon para may makalusot na team na medyo siguro sabihin mong hindi siya deserving, although I don't like using that word.
Mhm.
Pero iba para sa akin yung reason kung bakit pangit yung group stage format na to. Pangit yung group stage format na to because of how the playoff happened. I mean, papakita natin sa inyo ngayon. Right now, rough calculation by Knoxville. Pinost ako on Twitter. And dyan makikita nyo yung match win percentage ng mga nakapasok na teams. And I want to call your attention on TNC 60% match win percentage. Ba't ko pinoint out yon? Makikita mo, TNC was on a hot streak.
Mhm.
Round 3, they paired up against VG Gaming J Thunder. And VG Gaming J Thunder defeated them. Sige. Pagpasok ng VG Gaming J Thunder, okay, high seed sila. And akala natin what that meant was either kakalabanin nila is going to be a lower ranked team against them or gagawin natin is sila yung mamimili and whatever, right? Pero makikita mo dito, mate, when you're in a Swiss format, meron ka mga win percentage breakdowns eh. And for a team like TNC na 60% ang kanilang match win percentage, for them to have a very bad matchup, numbers wise, I'm not saying hindi nila kayang VG Gaming J Thunder, which is pag-uusapan natin mamaya. For them to have a bad matchup just because of how the group stage broke, I think it's a poor use of the format. Parang lokohan yung format natin kung ganun Again, BG Gaming J did not choose them. PGL did not comment how they arrived on the matchup. So I don't know. I think pag nakita mo ganun, parang medyo weird yung format Why is that? Bakit ganun naging yung breakdown? Now, there's going to be people saying na, number one, dapat ba na ang magiging playoff matchup mo is something na nakita na natin sa group stages? Diba? So I don't know if that means na hindi dapat magtuos ang TNC versus VG Gaming J, especially sa quarterfinals. Pero I think some transparency from PGL is needed pagdating dito. Kasi sayang yung format. It was very entertaining. I think a lot of people, I would have preferred if it was best of 3 Swiss format. Pero the best of 1 gave us a lot of really exciting games. I think this is the first tournament na nakita ko na almost every game, every round is Rapier gaming. Sobrang dami nating Divine Rapiers, especially that TNC matchup against VG Gaming J Thunder. So overall, I enjoyed it. I think that the teams that got through are very good teams. I don't think there's a team here na joke. I know there's a lot of Navi fans here, pero we saw there were already question marks kung bakit na invite yung Navi, and rightfully so. 0-3 sila tanggal. Diba? But with how the playoffs...
Navi is not 0-3, by the way. Navi is not...
So, there were already question marks kung bakit na invite yung Navi, and rightfully so. 0-3 sila tanggal. Diba? But with how the playoffs...
Navi is not 0-3, by the way. Navi is not 0-3.
What?
Navi?
Oh yeah, sorry, not 0-3. They went 2-2. That was TNC's final. Maraming matitrigger sa akin. Yeah. Pero what I mean is they were knocked out because people were not sure about their invite. They started the tournament with losses. They managed to get through to the final day, at least for the playoffs, yung last chance nila, and then they lost to TNC. Right. So I think doon makikita na people sa simula nung tournament natin, sabi nila, bakit yung Navi direct invite? Bakit yung Complexity direct invite? The Swiss format fixed that. Direct invite ba sila? Deserving nga ba sila? Titignan natin. Right. Pero with the way the playoffs broke out, meron tayong tweet here from Ben Stenhuizen, who is Knoxville. Siya nagbigay sa atin ng stats na to. Sabi niya, completely ridiculous that after 3 days of the Swiss, the excellent tiebreakers which Swiss provides were ignored, and Secret and TNC, who are the best performing 3-1 and 3-2 by win percentage, are given harder pairings statistically. So I think some transparency is needed here by PGL, which is just a small mark to an otherwise great tournament so far.
So tingin mo, deserving ba?
I think deserving yung nakalusot. I just wish that the playoffs were better.
Ren?
Okay, so, alam mo, naguluhan ako nung una, nahirapan ako dahil sinabi mo Liquid is the best team in the world.
I mean, they're the TI winners, and that's going to be a different day
Okay,
of
bakit
comparison.
mag-awayin nyo
Medyo nawala ako sa ko nun sa iniisip ko.
I mean, if you're mukhang EG fan ka dito.
Really not an EG fan, but I can't say na Liquid is the best team right now, especially not in this tournament. Then, back to the question though, does the playoff reflect the strongest teams of the tournament? So now we'll show you yung side-by-side comparison ng ating current standings ng DPC and then yung current playoff ng Bucharest Major. Of course, it's hard to say naman na, kagaya na sinabi mo na these teams na pasok sa playoffs are not deserving of going into the playoffs regardless of their DPC points, because in every tournament there's always gonna be an upset. It's very rare na you see na yung mga top-seeded teams or the teams who actually advance. Similarly though, ang nagiging concern ko naman, mas emphasis ko dito, ang concern ko sa naging format is yung kanyang best of 1 series lang. I think it doesn't do justice to what to the game now, to the patch ngayon, especially the advantage where that Radiant gets. At makikita mo rin na this actually gives a higher chance for underdogs to win. Maybe compared lang to a best of 3 scenario, ngayon with this advantage ng Radiant and the best of 1 situation nga, and then the format, it's very easy for teams to advance at nawawala yung essence ng Swiss. Kasi actually a lot of people are arguing the format na they shouldn't be called Swiss in the first place.
It's a very
Because-
bad form of Swiss.
Because
a
Swiss
bad
is
form of
supposed to
Swiss.
be, not, walang na-eliminate as Swiss. That's the idea
Yes,
of
yes.
Swiss. And then
You keep going.
you play with a certain amount of rounds siguro. Or if you play, sabi natin kahit sabing best of one, if you play, everyone plays up 5 rounds. We're gonna have more tiebreakers, more tie teams maybe. But then at the same time, you have more data to use and more accurate representation. As you said, it's the Swiss fixes itself. But this doesn't because it's stopped for other teams in round 3 or round 4 or round 5. You also see here na this format naman is not it's not super new sa esports. Well, I think it's the first time na makita yung exactly ganitong format sa Dota 2. You can see it and then sa E-League for the past 2 years. It's a CSGO tournament, but then this format, 16 teams, 5 rounds, upper, lower, middle format, ginawa na before. At yung naging issue before is the same issue pa rin ngayon. Yung best of ones niya sa CSGO, maybe not so much. They flip sides. Maybe sa map na lang. But for Dota 2, again, I really stress difference nung yung pick na yun. And you can see
Yung
naman.
side priority yung
You can see,
mahirap.
you can see naman, kaya sa 7.10 natin na patch ngayon, I think the Radiant side gets roughly 12% advantage, higher than norm winning percentage. At for this competition, to be specific, is roughly 15%, so that's very significant. Kunyari for the TNC lang, in their 5 games, 4 of those matches are won by Radiant. Syempre may iba ring factors aside from that, but it kind of demonstrates, it's a small sample size, but if you can go bigger, you can see that the Radiant really has a big advantage, and best of one really exploits that.
So yung tanong ko like when we go through the group stages, I would really prefer kung best of 3 na lang siya.
Yes, actually ang pinaka-issue is, actually not issue, ang pinaka-inisip ko, but we don't need to televise all games naman. We can play simultaneous games, and then we can do best of 3s. Kasi ginagawa ngayon, isang sinasabi, but best of 1, para magkasya sa schedule. So, basically,
I think yun yung tanong yung pagdating sa ganun, you have to ask the audience yesterday, we do all of these shows, nandito tayo palagi sa WXC Plus, kahit naman sa Duwambo Combo, and you see the audience saying, at least pwede kong sundan lahat. At least pwede kong mapanood lahat. Hindi ko kailangan mag-switch between streams. Once mapasok mo kasi yun, what is good for the audience is not necessarily what is good for the competition.
Definitely.
So, I don't know. Ewan ko kung ang sagot din dito should it just be with PGL who just wants to please their viewers? Or do the viewers have to ask themselves, gusto ba namin the best of the best na to? I've seen someone say, major to So, dapat kung major to, dapat, siya, the best of the best should, the format should cater to find out who is the best of the best. Kung minor, siguro okay pa.
I think every competition dapat, the best team should come
I
out
can
on top.
see the reasoning for minor might be, right? Because I think we also have to stress here that this is still a spectator sport. So what is also good for the spectator can be good for the game, at least longevity wise, not just competition wise. Pero I would have wanted it to be a best of 3 sa Swiss. I would have wanted fixed rounds like in chess or in MTG or in poker or anything like that. Pero we didn't get that. So I think the way it broke, okay pa rin yung mga nakapasok. Deserving pa rin. Again, maybe Optic is the only one that's really overperformed. I think Vici Gaming J is performing well because of their changes sa kanila. Pero it's also undeniable. I mean, also because may mga nakalaban nila malalakas. Pero Vici Gaming J also fought a lot of best of 1. So it's mahirap sabihin, are they going to be the champion? I don't know.
I think Optic played pretty well though.
I think they played pretty well.
Like-
pero I think people wouldn't have seen that they were, or at least wouldn't have expected that they would be in the top 8. Assuming everyone else. Vici Gaming was here. VP was underperforming relative to what they can do. Right? And Optic Gaming, I think it's not hard to argue na Optic Gaming performed better than expected.
I think sa reflection ng playoff ngayon, Vici really struggled though.
Yes,
I think
definitely.
it's really fair na they're in the bottom half of this
Yes.
event.
I think yun nga tama naman I mean, Vici Gaming, their first test was Vici Gaming J Thunder, and in best of ones, Vici Gaming J Thunder would get it over them. Pero at the end of the day, they couldn't figure out the patch. If it was a best of 3, maybe we can test more. Pero as they played in those 3 games nila, wala talaga. Mababa talaga.
Siguro sa teams na yan, sa eliminate na teams, there's only one team I would argue na may spot sa top 8, which is OG. But at the same time, it's hard for me to decide kung sino ba dyan ang papalitan nila, which team are they better. Because OG really played well.
Yes.
Despite finishing 2-3, despite being eliminated.
They had good ideas in the patch, pero they couldn't close it.
They actually were very close to defeating Liquid yesterday.
Yeah.
And they had a pretty good series then in past days.
At natapos na ba yung mga pinaglalaban nyo dyan?
Hindi mo masyadong naglaban, I think.
Yeah, actually.
Medyo hindi mo masyadong naglaban on this one.
Kasi it's kind of rude to to a team who performed well na sabihin na hindi ka deserving. Because it's the fruit of their
Nakamit pa
efforts.
rin nila eh. Nakamit pa rin nila. And at the end of the day, these are rules that everyone agreed to. Right? Maybe looking forward, we could change the rules a little bit so that it's a little bit more justifiable. Pero for what it's worth, itong mga teams ito, okay, nag-perform kayo well. Bakbakan kayo ngayon sa top 8.
So, that's it for our first topic. So,